can only
Guys.
Watch out.
Let's go.
I know the brink's coming.
Break.
Know the brink's coming.
Break. Hell!
Wow, you can always tell how excited Paul is to do an episode. It has to do with the length of the Heyo.
yeah.
That one came from the balls, boys.
Oh,
I was about to say your sphincter was leaking on that one.
No, it didn't come from the ass. It came from the balls.
Hello.
I got the oxygen from my nuts.
all right, everybody.
Ah.
He's Paul. I'm Alex. We've got Justin here. Justin Copley. Am I saying that right?
Copley.
Copley. Okay, we got Justin Copley
Can't
here.
you see my name, bitch? Custin Jopley.
I saw his name. I don't know why he changed it to Backdoor Justin. That's weird. Anyways,
We'll talk about it.
we're Bass and Brews, your weekly distraction from high quality podcasts. Thanks for listening in after our long vacation of 1 week. We're happy you're here. If you want to help support the show, you can head to patreon.com/Bass and Brews. Patreon.com/Bass and Brews. Become a producer of the show. It helps us out, and then it'll give you access to Last Call with Alex and Paul, the Patreon exclusive live show we do once a month on a Friday. We get a little loosey-goosey. This last one, Paul held it together until about halfway through and then got real dirty. I thought he was going to do it like pretty
Wait,
straight, and then
you hopped in with some dirtiness.
I did a little bit.
The
but
comments.
Yeah.
Look, we were.
Oh,
good
it's a
till
party.
Fish,
It's a party.
We were good until Fish Mama Chris hopped in.
We were
And
all
then
fine. It was just a bunch of dudes
she
talking
turned
about
that
books.
shit. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
It was.
It was dudes talking about books and the Bass and Brews book club. Alex, you need to talk about that after I finish this little diatribe.
Mhm.
Fish Mama Chris hops on about a third of the way through, and she turned that shit into.
She turned it out.
She turned it into a Cinemax. No, an HBO. Like what was it? True fucking sex or whatever
Was
the
it?
fuck it was episode.
Real
What the fuck was
sex.
it? Real sex. Fish Mama Chris comes on and turned it into a HBO softcore porn real sex episode, and it was not my fault this time. It was not Alex's. Never Alex's fault, but it was not my fault. Fish Mama Chris turned that shit up, and we might as well have been on at 11:30. On HBO with a real sex episode.
As soon as we got done
Now,
with
is
that
that the one with the squiggly lines?
yeah, no. This was no squiggles. This was you got the decoder from your neighbor.
You got the real sex episodes. The real sex episode. See, Justin, this is why I told you to fucking figure out your camera. Because now it looks
He's
like
got
we're
the squiggles.
interviewing. It looks like we're interviewing somebody that is wanted by the mafia. And
Let me
his
try.
shit's
Let me
on-
try turning on my Wi-Fi.
All right. While Justin does that, Paul mentioned it. We do have the book club. You get all the way through June. We're gonna read a book. It could be about fishing. It could be about the outdoors. It could be about Bigfoot's fucking. This is our first month, so everybody got like an extra 2 weeks on it. But the book, if you guys want to play along with us, is On the Run: An Angler's Journey Down the Striper Coast by David D.
How's that?
Benedetto. It's all black. Can't
It's
see
black.
shit.
We can't see a goddamn thing.
What the
All right,
hell?
that's better. All right, so yeah, if you guys want to follow along, I'm about halfway through the book. It's pretty short, but I got other things going on. It's only like 256 pages. About halfway through. It's actually super funny. I highly recommend it. And
And with this book club, Alex is reading these books along with some of the some other Bass and
Brewskis.
Brews
Yeah.
producers. And I'm really surprised at some of the motherfuckers that are actually reading the book. Apparently, I'm not going to read the book.
No.
But I'm just going to come on here and just from the title, I'm going to talk about what the book is.
We'll have to do maybe like a so this whole idea came up through the Discord. And again, if you guys want access to the Discord channel, you can hit me up on social and ask for the link, or you can email me at bassandbrews@gmail.com. And I'll get you the link over to that. But we have like a whole channel over there. I don't know if we should do like a quick like live show on there real quick. Everybody can talk about it. Or you can write a fucking book report. I don't give a shit. It's just a fun thing. I was really surprised. We're starting with the fishing one. But we do have we have a lot of brewskis that read a lot of different stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Hey,
Pretty
Alex,
cool.
Speaking of Bigfoot's fucking,
Oh, dude.
I sent you a picture
That was gross.
that I think maybe Justin sent me
Oh, really?
last week. I'm pretty sure he might have been the one that sent it to me of a Bigfoot. And you gotta bring that up and show it, man. I think it's a great representation of a Bigfoot that listens to Bass and Brews.
I will say what a not great representation was the bright leaf hot dogs. Dude, everybody in New Jersey was fucking scared to eat those things on
Did
Memorial
they
Day.
eat them?
No, nobody fucking ate them.
Fucking bunch of bitches.
I ate
Cunt-ass Yankees.
I ate all of them. By the end of the night, poor Amanda was having to push me into the car because I was so annihilated. But yeah, nobody ate them, even though they're dumb. They're delicious. But
Hey,
yeah.
look, real quick. This is
Real
the
quick.
behind the scenes y'all are gonna get. In
Everything's
front of
real
the
quick with
scenes.
Paul.
Alex, we need the video out because they
Yeah,
give us
comes-
a lot of food. So
Yeah,
we
it's
gotta
gonna
get
come
that
out, don't
shit
worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Tell
tired of
Mandy
hearing.
that, and then y'all hadn't had a kid. in like
Bam!
6
There it
years.
is.
Look at that.
Look at that red wiener, little red rocket on that fucking thing.
Why is it so pointy at the end?
I don't know. It's weird. I'm trying to actually like blow it up, make it bigger. I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to do that with my own wiener forever.
Look, I've been telling Sarah that for 22 years now.
I'm just wondering where you got a naked picture of Paul from.
It's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn close. That wiener's way too big, though.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
works.
yeah.
All right.
I
Well,
got 2 kids. It works.
did we get through? Yeah. So again, if you want to be part of the Discord, book club, whatever, yeah, go ahead, Paul.
This is how far Bass and Brews has fallen over the last year. Is we got a goddamn fucking book club. Like literally.
It's awesome.
You know,
it's awesome.
we have asked our fans numerous times over the last few months to introduce us to people that to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
And we have gotten
Book
hardly
requests.
nobody that has done that. You know, we need help getting guests on because Alex and I have a lot of shit going on, and we've done a good job.
You have done a
And we
great
keep it
job.
going.
You've done a great job, Paul.
We
No, this is.
I'm you. You're. Sorry, I had sushi about an hour ago, so I've got a little bit indigestion. But you know what the cool thing about sushi is? You can go eat sushi,
Nothing.
and I don't eat a lot of rolls. I eat sashimi.
Sashimi.
That's what I eat. I don't want all the rice. Now, usually I'll get me a little roll, but I eat sashimi. And sushi's one of those things you can fucking eat until the fish is coming out of your throat and you feel like you're going to throw up. And then you pay your bill, you get in your car, you take your ass home, you get home, and the minute you walk inside, you're like, God damn, I'm fucking hungry again.
That's only if you have the sashimi. Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
if you eat 5 rolls fucking
Bro.
wrapped up in 2 pounds of
They're
rice.
so good. I fucking love sushi. I love I like sashimi, but I also like the rolls, and I like the fucking weird rolls. Like my favorite is the Philly roll. That's what you do.
Fuck me.
I love
No.
it. It's like smoked salmon with Philly cream cheese in it.
Fuck that. No, look, when I eat sushi,
So good. So
when
good.
I eat sushi, I don't want cream cheese.
No.
I don't want any of that bullshit
No,
in
dude.
there. It
Avocado?
Needs to be
I'm not
No,
eating fish. I'm not eating fish bait, man.
No,
Wow, it's
nobody
delicious.
asked you.
I'm not
Nobody asked
doing
you
it.
backdoor, Justin.
Not.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm
Look,
not
your
doing
camera,
it.
your camera's so bad you look like a roll of sushi with fucking
Probably
soggy
so.
rice. I can't believe this. Your camera looked good before, but I knew this was going to happen. I tried to get you to fix it, and you wouldn't listen to me. You didn't follow directions. This is how you know Justin's from fucking Florida. This motherfucker can't do. He logged on, but he can't do nothing after logging on. But
That's
anyway,
good.
let me get back to my sushi shit.
Yes.
Right. So
Hey, I
sashimi
catch
is where it
fish.
is.
I don't play on the phone, man.
We can tell you look like the guy from Back to the Future on the Pepsi machine. Like, check it up.
Max Headroom.
Max Headroom. That's who you look like,
Yeah.
Justin.
Yeah.
I'm very upset right now. We have to fix this shit. Justin, we have to fix this shit. All right, y'all are gonna listen to real quick. Shut up, Justin. This is my fucking podcast. You need to go to settings, go to camera, and put that bitch on 280i. Like whatever the lowest it is that we can still see you.
This is like the best thing ever.
That-
Are you on the hotel Wi-Fi or are you on your cellular device? Cellular.
I'm on my cellular device. I just logged onto the hotel Wi-Fi. But I mean,
switch over to that.
I just did.
This is better. At least when you talk now, when your mouth moves, at least it's in line with the audio that we're getting. Look, we have like 50 to 75 YouTube people who are not going to watch any of this shit because there we go. Look, he's back.
It's working. It's working.
Snaps for Justin. There we go. There we go. All right, back to sushi.
Nah, we're back. We're back.
Look, I don't want cream cheese in my sushi. I will order a roll that has avocado in it if it has other shit. But that's my problem with Americanized sushi rolls.
Yeah.
Is it's got a lot of fucking goddamn cream
It's good.
cheese.
It's good.
Fuck, no, it's not.
Delicious.
Cream cheese should not go in fucking sushi. That's why I like sashimi and nigiri.
All right, listen, everybody. I want you.
Sushi shouldn't exist.
Yeah. Well, what? You don't like fish? Sushi is just raw fish, dog.
Dude, yeah, sushi's what I catch catfish with.
Get out of here. Listen, if you guys like cream cheese in your sushi, if you like a Philly roll, let us know in the comments on Spotify. Email me at bassandbrews@gmail.com. I want to know. I'm actually going to do a full poll on the Discord after this episode.
Hey, before you start doing a full poll on fucking sushi, can you get our goddamn camping video out from 3 months ago?
It's 1 month ago, and you got me the footage last week. I don't want to hear any kind of
I
talk.
got you that footage 3.5.
No,
to
you did
almost
not.
4.2
No, you did not.
weeks
Anyways, go ahead. Start.
All right,
do
so
your
anyway.
stupid fucking intro.
Justin, welcome to Bass and Brews.
Thank you.
You supposedly say you've listened to every episode and have gone back and started re-listening to episodes, and I appreciate that. I do. And you and I, we're kind of like boyfriend, girlfriend. We talk on the phone for hours at a time. This is no lie. Justin and I both drive a lot for work, and we get on the phone and we talk fishing for hours. This past Wednesday is a good example, aka yesterday. We were on the phone for at least 6 hours.
Holy
Without a doubt.
shit.
Yep. And this is like the third time that these phone-a-thons have gone on. It's been great. It's been good.
When are you guys going to start going steady? Jeez, quit beating
I
around
don't
the
know.
bush,
He hasn't showed me
Justin.
his
Ask him
titty.
to prom.
He hasn't even showed me a boob yet. But
Well-
Justin, shush. Don't interrupt me. I ask questions, you answer them. If I didn't ask a question, just shh. Okay? All right, there we go.
Smash the mic.
Damn, Alex, I got a...
I know, I just smashed the mic.
We can...
All right, anyways, Justin, let's
Well, sorry, guys.
That's my favorite. If anybody doesn't know, I'm sure you guys know by now. Me and Paul just kick each other out of the podcast studio.
Anyway, all right, Justin. We got Justin Copley, originally from Florida, now lives in Southeast Alabama, right on the Panhandle line. And Justin has been a listener, and we conversed months ago a little bit through social media. I can't remember if it was TikTok or Instagram or what it was. But at some point, we started conversing DM, and he slid into my DMs. I showed him a picture of my butthole, and he's like, "Hell yeah, man, I love big fish." I was like, "I do too." But we got Justin here, and Justin is not somebody you're going to see on social media a lot, but my man catches a lot of big ass fucking fish.
Mhm.
And now he's in an area in the country
Where it's easy.
where it is not necessarily easy, but it is the big fish are more available.
Yeah,
We're
it's
talking
easy.
about double digits every year. And you know, one of the reasons why we'll probably dive into this a little bit is Justin said he fishes a lot of these areas that a lot of people can't get to. They're hard to get to. They're in Florida, so there's a fuck ton of public lakes that are not easily accessible. And he gets in there and he don't want to blow them out and this and that shit. And you know, some people are going to have a problem with him catching fish on private ponds that are big, but he's still catching them. But anyway, we got Justin Copley. Justin, no, shut the fuck up until I answer you. Until I ask you a question, Justin. You've listened to this podcast enough. You should know better. You should know better. All right, Justin. That was a question.
Yeah, Justin, that's a question.
Yeah, your answer should be yes.
Yes.
Thank you. I've been watching a lot of Karen Reed trial video stuff on TikTok.
Oh God.
Is that the one that pooped
I'm
in the dude's bed?
She might have. I don't know. Apparently, she has a leaky butthole. Is what?
Yeah, that's the one with pirate. What's his name? Captain Jack, right?
Johnny Depp. No, that ain't.
No, that's Johnny Depp. Yeah, no, that's
no.
Oh,
Johnny
that was
Depp.
Amber Heard.
Yeah,
Amber Heard pooped in the
Heard.
bed. Yeah.
Karen Reed is not a famous actor.
Oh.
Matter of fact, we have a lot of people up in the Mass area that we
that's
know
the one
who are
with her boyfriend, right? Who was a cop, and then yeah,
Boston cop, and anyway, regardless, Justin.
Wait, Paul,
Yes.
real quick. Paul, real quick.
Oh my God, what, Alex?
Your beard looks nice today, big guy.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I put some beer balm in it 2 days
It
ago.
looks great.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, all right, Justin.
Yes.
Thank you. God damn. See how easy that is? This is how you run an interview, people. You ask simple questions, you get simple answers, and we go from there. Hey, man, what is the journey that has brought you here to where you are today? What's that fishing journey that got you where you are today?
Oh man, that goes way back. I started bass fishing when I was old enough to hold a pole. I mean, my father, my grandfather, I mean, we all bass fished. I come from a side that we caught fish to eat. So for us, I mean, if we caught it, we ate it. But growing up,
That's what I told my now wife the first time I met her.
Yeah. But I mean, just growing up fishing, never stopped. I mean, I've been fishing since I was a little kid. When I would say into my younger teens, I started getting into the bait casters, things like that. Kind of took just a face forward dive into bass fishing, fell in love with it. Grew up in Central Florida, fishing all the lakes down around the Polk County area. And like I said, just fell in love with bass fishing. And really fell in love with big bass. My first big bass I caught when I was probably 12 or 13. It was 10-6.
That's how easy it is in Florida, folks. You could be fucking 10 years old and catch a double digit because it's easy.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, man, a bluegill or a golden shiner in Florida, I mean, it goes a long way. But I continued fishing through my teenage years, really got into some of the bigger bait stuff, different things that you don't see people use very much. I'm a big time component of like the old school musky jitterbug at nighttime. I grew up jigger poling, with the long pole back and forth at nighttime. Just different types of fishing. And even here now to today, I mean, now I'm more of a big bait angler nowadays, but I mean, it's just time on the water, man. I mean, that's just my story. It's just from day one. I've been bass fishing.
So you like big baits, you like to catch big bass.
Oh yeah.
Would you rather have a big bass or your woman with a big ass?
I think I'm gonna go with the big bass.
Take it. You can always get those BBLs, that Brazilian butt lift. You can get that shit fake in there. You'll be all right.
That shit's overrated.
All right, Justin's a boob man.
Would you
He's a
rather
boob man.
motorboat two 10-pound bass together or a luscious big ass? Which one are you motorboating?
The 210s all day.
God,
the 210s.
Damn, boy, you look. I love 2 10-pound bass, but I'll motorboat a big ass in a heartbeat.
That's overrated.
All right, what's your segue from here, Paul?
Justin,
What's going on?
How
35.
35 years old.
Yes, sir. 35.
So you said up into your teens you did a lot of fishing, and then we didn't hear much after that. What happened? What happened after you kind of got to the age of high school graduation time? Was it women, money, or drugs?
Honestly, it was hog hunting and fishing. I've never, the whole running around, going to the bars and partying and stuff like that, I was never into that.
Somebody as ugly as you would be tough to do, so I understand that.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. But no,
Even in Central Florida.
Yeah, even in Central Florida. I'm telling you.
That bar's really low in Central Florida. They're like, yo, you got a half a wiener? I'll take it.
Hey, there's Limbo Champion. Yep, there we go. That's about what they look like, especially coming out of Polk County.
He's talking about the women too, not even the dudes.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Isn't Polk County that show that was like always on live PD?
Yes, with Sheriff Grady Judd.
Yeah,
yes.
so I hate that show, but I loved it when it was in Polk County because I was like, man, I feel so good about myself.
Listen,
I feel really good about New Jersey.
Yeah,
Because I don't
exactly.
live in Polk County.
oh, Jersey, I'm telling you, man, Jersey probably ain't got nothing on Polk County. That place down there is rough.
They don't.
Listen, do you know what Jersey doesn't have? That. All right,
Oh,
we don't
God.
have that.
We did.
Hey, well, what I'm trying to get at, Justin, is sometimes maybe I'm a good questioner, and sometimes people are too stupid to follow the question and answer it.
My early life.
No, fuck your early life. What did you do for like 10 years that you didn't fish?
Man, that was the oil field, working on oil rigs out in West Texas.
Alex, what did he say? Oil field, oil rigs. This motherfucker worked in the oil industry, and he didn't say
Yeah,
oil.
but he's from Polk County, so it was actually just like a gas station in front of fucking Disneyland is what he did. He went out there
Disney
and he counted that.
is
Disney
in
World.
Florida. Disneyland's in
Land.
California.
Yeah.
Damn. California. He was pumping gas. That's what he meant by working the oil field.
Yeah. I wish. Trust me, I wish.
So you're a roughneck.
Yes.
So
Yes.
were you the guy underneath the shafts of the oil rig, slinging the chain and twisting the shit and unslinging the chain?
Yep. That's
How
called a
hard
chain
was-
hand.
How hard
Easy.
was that?
It's easy.
What was if Alex and I were to win the lottery next week and be like, fuck this, we're going to work in the oil fields. What's the hardest job on an
Bitch,
oil rig?
I get it. I fucking win the lottery. I ain't working any goddamn job.
Bitch, we need content.
Oh, shit. You're right. You're right.
Nowadays, none. I mean, it's all automated nowadays. When I first started, we had rigs called conventionals, which, I mean, was real work. I mean, we were, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, constantly. And sometimes 16 and 18 hours a day, just depending on, what it called for.
But what
now,
were you doing that made it hard work?
being there. There wasn't nothing easy. I mean, there wasn't
Showing
nothing
up.
easy. Pretty
If
much.
you showed up, it was hard work.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, man. You got to remember, you're not at home. When you're there, you're there. I mean, even on land, like I wasn't offshore, I was on land, but you leave home for 21 days at a time. You're not going home every night laying your head down. I mean, and
but you're
when you're
making
there,
a shit ton of money.
Well, it's all well, not really. You're making a shitload of money because you're working 20 hours a day.
yeah, I mean,
30 days
yeah.
at a time.
I mean, our average weeks was 80 to 100 hours.
Have you
fuck
watched the
that.
show Landman with Billy Bob Thornton? How accurate is that on an actual oil rig?
Somewhat.
All right, Justin, remember it's an audio podcast.
What the fuck does that mean?
Well, they can't see when he was like,
Yeah.
Like, they can't see his hand
somewhat. Yeah, it's somewhat accurate, but
Okay.
there's a lot of things that are not accurate about that. Now, as far as the well blowouts, stuff like that, yeah, that's very accurate. As far as people dying and things like that, yeah, I mean, I've seen multiple people die. I mean, right across the rig floor from me. And I mean, I've seen people blow up. I've seen people burn to death. I've seen people get crushed to death. I mean, ain't nothing easy about it.
Dude,
But go ahead.
So in fishing we got the ramp lizards, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
rock lizards. What do you call the groupies for the oil rigs that hang around and just want to have sex with the roughnecks?
Buckle bunnies.
buckle
bunnies.
bunnies. All right.
Buckle bunnies.
See, why buckle bunnies? What's the buckle about?
Well, because I was in Texas, so everybody wore a belt buckle, and it was buckle bunnies, bar flies. I mean,
Right. All right. I
Pretty
feel like you
much
guys could have
it.
been more creative. You guys could have had like the slick Sallies.
Oh
or,
yeah, the oil slicks.
Yeah,
The
like,
oil
oh
slicks.
damn, you can tell when that oil slug comes in because she's leaving a trail all the way to the bar. You know what I mean?
They only show up to the oil rig when they're on their period. The oil slicks.
No, they don't. They don't show up when they're on their period. They show up when they miss their period.
I need a daddy for this baby real quick.
Yup.
She lines like five guys up and it's like had sex with you, and you. Somebody pay him for this.
Justin, I'm just glad that you said it's not, that hard of actual work, because anytime I see something on social media from these roughnecks, it looks very choreographed. It looks like a bunch of dudes who sat down trying to do like industrial dance. Like it looks a little suspect, if you know.
Well, first off, they're not roughnecks anymore. They're fluffnecks now. I mean,
Shots fired, bitches.
I mean, for real, the driller sits in an automated chair and runs the rig. The roughnecks spend all day walking around the rig, scrubbing it with diesel fuel and repainting it. I mean, I'm sorry. There's a few, don't get me wrong. There's a few companies out there that still do it the old school way, but anymore, no. It's a bunch of pansies out there calling themselves roughnecks that, they work 8-hour shifts. They run 3 shifts. They run 3 8-hour shifts. They work 7 days a week. They get to go home every night, most of them, or they work 3 days on or 4 days on, 3 days off. I mean, it's
great. That sounds great.
It's not what it used to be.
They sound like the ambulance people,
Right?
They sound like me now.
Hey, speaking of, all right, so before Alex gets in, what do you do now? You left the oil fields, come do what?
I drive a truck for Cisco Foods.
So you deliver fucking meat.
Sit on your ass all day.
Pretty much.
Look,
I mean,
yeah.
Run groceries in and out of the back of a truck into a restaurant, but I mean, it's not hard either. I mean,
Yeah.
So when you go to a restaurant delivering and it's lunchtime, do they make you a little to-go plate and you get to sit out?
Yes. I get to eat everything. Can't you tell?
Hey, I want to go back to the oil field real quick. Is it true that there's just a guy walking around in like a flat hat, a long mustache, talking about how he wants to drink everybody's milkshakes? Is that something that you encountered quite a bit?
Not me.
No? Okay.
Where'd that come from, Alex?
No Country for Old Men? Oh, no. There will be. No, not that one. There will be blood. When he's like, I want your milkshake. I want to drink it all. Was that your job? You just intimidated folks about drinking their milkshakes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was me.
So, in you were in West Texas. How much fishing did you do out there? Because in one of our conversations, you said you were working a ton of hours, making good money. You bought a bass boat outright, but it doesn't sound like you fished the 10 or so years you were working oil fields, even though you had all the shit to fish. And West Texas, I mean, you had some decent lakes within 8-hour drive.
Man, here let me say this. OHIV before it got blew up, that was 2.5 hours from my house, and we didn't fish it. It was the party lake. I mean, that's where everybody went for the weekend to hang out, grill, pull people on tubes, stuff like that. And no one had any idea of the fish that was in OHIV or Balmaray or any of those reservoirs out there. But no, like I said, I mean, man, we worked so much that when I would get off for 3 or 4 days or a week, I'd go on Hitch where it was my off time. I got the hell out of Texas, dude. Like, I would go anywhere and everywhere out of Texas. I got to spend a lot of time in Oregon, Idaho.
Yeah. Idaho.
Yeah. Yep, Idaho. But we would just,
Washington
I would come
State. Did you ever go where Alex is from?
Some Southern Washington.
Fuck that state. That's the worst state in the whole fucking continental U.S.
But no, it's nowhere near it. Trust me.
Yeah, this man's from Central Florida. Come on.
Yeah.
He's probably been to Utah too. Utah sucks.
Utah sucks.
No, I haven't been to Utah yet.
Utah's pretty as shit.
You didn't go chase Mormon girls on your 3 days off?
No.
Nobody wants that. What is he just gonna soak?
That's why he still got money.
I wish. I'm broke as a joke nowadays. But
all them slick Sallies got to you.
All them old slick Sallies.
No, child support got me.
Yeah,
So
yeah, from the buckle bunny.
From a buckle bunny. That was it.
So when you spent your years down there doing oil rigs and you didn't fish a lot, when did you get back into it? And were you just back old school fishing, like in the Florida with a worm, Carolina rig, doing the Florida fishing, or did you because this is leading into your big bait, big fish thing that you do?
Well, the big bait thing for me started in high school. Actually, I still had a lot of my big baits and stuff like that. Now, I've always conventional fished. I mean, I'm a Florida fisherman through and through, but the reason why I have the success that I do is because I'm doing stuff in Florida that nobody else is doing. There's very few anglers in Florida that throw big baits. I mean, I have a group of guys that I fish with that, I've gotten into big baits and things like that. And I've got 3 or 4 buddies that right now, I guarantee you, within a month, they will put on average 3 to 5 double digits in a boat. I mean, but either me or them. I mean,
that easy, folks. Just go to Florida and Alabama, go get you a piece of sushi, put it on a hook, and anybody can catch a fucking 10-pounder there. It's not hard.
The hardest thing is reeling it in before the gator gets it.
Yeah, sometimes.
The hardest thing is reeling it in before a buckle bunny gets pregnant.
Yeah. That's where it gets expensive.
Yeah, that $300 glide bait, that ain't a drop in the bucket to a buckle bunny.
Listen, those buckle bunnies are always on beds, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck yes.
Hey, Wolf of Walmart, Dave. Shout out Dave the intern. Or actually Andrew Blair too. He sent me a text. Can we get a picture of Justin's face in a bikini with a big buckle sitting around a bass bin as a meme for the Discords, please?
Hey, and
Yes.
if any of our listeners are buckle bunnies or past buckle
I'd
bunnies,
love to talk to a buckle bunny.
or if any of our listeners are married to previous buckle bunnies, we'd love to hear some stories. So reach out to us,
Dude.
Justin.
Hold on. What if
Yeah.
we had just like a whole buckle bunny roundtable where we just bring on
Oh my God, I would go shirtless for that.
all the slick sallies to talk about how, like, I was poking holes in condoms. I was, I would give that guy like 19 Bud Lights, just waiting for him to pass out to get
Fake
pregnant.
birth control. They
Yeah.
were just taking the sugar pills out of the birth control wheel and throwing the
Yeah.
rest of them away.
What if there was some like larger ones who are like, listen, it was rough going for me. I'd have to wait till the end of the night, but I'd find some little guy like you, Alex, and I know I was going to hold him down.
Yeah.
I knew this bitch wasn't going home with the good looking one. I knew you.
No.
You were mine the minute I walked into the bar. You little
That's
short,
what-
ugly bitch.
That's a buckle badger.
No, do you think they would fight if we had like 5 buckle bunnies, but 1 buckle badger?
Yeah.
And we treat it like Jerry Springer or like Dr. Phil. Like, exactly why were you sleeping with anybody who had oil under their fingertips? And they're like, well, listen here, Dr. Roberts. I do what I want. I do what I want. And then all of a sudden the big one comes in like, I had to do it to survive. Again, if you're a buckle bunny
Alex, I
or a
told you this
buckle
was going to be a
badger,
good time.
send us an email at bassandbruce@gmail.com.
We want to hear your story. Bring you on the podcast. Are you married to a buckle bunny now there, Justin?
No, my wife now is originally from here in Alabama.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
she
she's-
didn't even
just
go-
got she got tired of dating her cousin. She was like, I got to get somebody from out of state.
probably.
The only thing worse than Polk County, Central Florida is the state of
Central
Alabama.
I'm
Cent-
telling you.
Hey, so I know the story, so I'm going to ask the question, and he's getting real red, y'all. Like, Justin's not a fat man, but he's a little hefty, but his cheeks look like fucking Santa Claus right now.
Oh, I do now. I got some cheekbones for you.
I know, and them bitches is red as fuck.
Once we mentioned the cousin thing, there might be more to that story, Paul. He might have had to pull her.
It's not.
third
I know
cousin?
the story.
Fourth
I know
cousin?
the story. It's not a cousin, but he did pull some string from when, if any of the guys listening grew up who had older sisters. You know, the older sisters had these friends. Oh shit, he left. This shit fucking. He's like, fuck this, I'm out. He asked me for topics tonight, and I said there are no topics. We just talk, and now he's gone. Slick Sally.
I think he had to go to the bathroom, maybe.
He had to go. Hey, Alex.
Yeah.
If you worked on an oil rig.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back. Nope, he's gone.
He's gone.
Okay. You worked on an oil rig, and I worked on an oil rig.
Yeah.
Would we be good? Like, would we work well together, or would we really fuck shit up?
Like, would
What do you
we
think?
would we
be a
get
good
the
team?
job?
Would we be a good team?
No.
And be above average and be like, man, those guys get it done, or they'll be like, those guys fucking suck.
I think no, like the job would get done. People would get annoyed of us yelling at each other the entire time, though.
I agree with that. I feel like we would get the job done and get it
100%.
done right.
Yep.
And it would be like we would be efficient at it.
Yep.
But I do agree that people would be like, I don't want to work with those motherfuckers because all they do is bitch and moan at each other.
Yep.
And all day long.
Or if we stopped doing that, then we would turn it on said coworkers.
We would team up on people.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, would you guys quit fighting? We would be like, okay, fine. You're
Fuck
the
you,
fucking
bitch.
target now,
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah. Now you're in the car. But see, I feel like you were in the Coast Guard. I've played sports,
Mhm.
you know, wildland.
I'm a great
firefighting.
team player. Yeah.
Right, great team players. But I feel like when you get into certain realms of life, sports, military, firefighting, like you have people that cannot handle the jabbering and the jibbing
Yes.
that goes on.
Yes.
And I feel like that would be something that folks could not take.
That's Buckle Badger. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Sorry about that. I had
Okay.
some issues with freaking people trying to call.
Oh, yep, that'll happen.
Yep, that happens.
But Paul, you're absolutely right. I think there's some jobs, and I know when I transitioned out, that was the biggest thing. I still catch myself at work. Like I have a coworker
Being
who
mean to a coworker that you like.
Yeah. Like he's in my cube, and he tries to he tries to give me short jokes, and I'm like, bitch, you are fucking 58, and you are way shorter than me, and your guts think like I just want to rip into him because that's normally what I do, and I have to be like, oh, got me, or he says something. Today, he was like, this total side note, we were having a talk about a new project we're doing at work, and it involves the Coast Guard, actually. So they brought me in because I was in, right? And he's like, well, why is Alex here? And they're like, oh, because he's, the military expert on this one, the subject matter expert. And he's like, oh, he was only in the Coast Guard, though. Fuck that shit. And I wanted to light him up because he served, but he only did like 6 years in the Navy. And I want to be like, he did 6 years in the Navy, and 3 of those were recruiting. So he was only at sea for 3 fucking years. I got 9 years at sea in the Coast Guard. So out of my 20s. So I want to be like, I want to rip his ass, right? But I got to be nice because I'm in a corporate culture now. I have to like, oh, funny one, bud. Man, you real got me there. It's tough. It's tough. You missed it with your technical difficulties there, Buckle. We were talking about, all right, so let's say you're back on the oil field, right? You're back in the fields again.
Mm-hmm.
You're working, and I think how Paul wanted to say this was like, if Paul and I got super rich and famous, here's the move, right? We recreate the show Dirty Jobs, but it's just Paul and I going out. And it doesn't even have to be dirty jobs, just like people's jobs if they're interesting, right? And then they just have to kind of deal with us. So do you think Paul and I would be effective on an oil rig?
No, not at all.
Wait, is it?
No.
Do you think our work wouldn't be good, or do you think we would annoy people with how much we argue with each other?
Actually, the arguing with each other is the good part. That's how you build bonds. I mean, my guys on my crew, I mean, we argued. I mean, gay jokes. I mean, that was part of life.
Yep.
But that's how you become. Yeah, that's how you become family.
Right.
I mean, you being in the Coast Guard. I mean, y'all. I would imagine that's your closest
It's
friends.
common.
I mean, that's how y'all were. Y'all were at sea. I mean, that's how you meshed was, ripping each other new ones and giving each other a hard time. But that wasn't no malice. It was
We're bored.
part of the job.
We're also just bored. Like no matter what job, especially if you're good at it. Right? Especially when you're good at it, like there's nothing real exciting. You're going through the motions, you're going through muscle memory. All of a sudden it becomes like, how do I entertain myself? Well, the best way to do that.
Each other all.
No, it's I got reminded of this game because a buddy of mine texted and he's like, hey, do you remember when you did this to me? It's when we would, in heavy seas, when a guy was asleep, not feeling well, we would take a condom and fill that bitch up with mayonnaise, hot mayonnaise, fill it up, duct tape it to his rack, and then go next to his rack and be like, hey, it's a man overboard drill. And he'd shoot his head up, and then this big bag of lubricated condom filled with hot mayonnaise would hit his face. It was like the best game ever.
Why did y'all have condoms on a boat?
They have them all over the place for like the single guys. So you go over to Doc's office.
So it's like the Olympics.
Basically, yeah, except for non-athletic. So it's like the Winter Olympics. It's like the curling team, like the curling of Olympic
Justin,
Village.
sign back on to your fucking hotel internet and get off your fucking cellular device.
Oh my God,
man!
There we
Justin
go.
says
This man has
Justin's listening to the show forever. He gets his shot. This is like, do you guys watch Kill Tony or listen to Kill Tony?
No.
It's like a podcast. It's a guy does stand-up comedians, but he lets like people randomly come in. This is like Justin coming in and bombing at a stand-up on his favorite show right away.
Exactly.
He's trying to figure it out. He's like, this is bullshit. Oil fields didn't teach me how to podcast from a phone.
No, not at all.
It's starting
I
to
can
get
swing
there.
a sledgehammer, though.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Paul, you missed it. He said our bickering would be fun, but he thinks our work output would be awful.
Oh, see, he don't know shit because I'll work my ass off into the ground. But hey, I want to get back to the fishing side of it. And before I do that, though, I want to lead into that with what we were talking about before Justin got a supposed phone call and he had to leave. Your wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in the story because you've told it to me in private, and I want to make it public. You snagged up a Jaguar.
Oh yeah. She's 7 years older than I am. We met. I mean,
At 15.
long story,
14?
honestly.
Like
A little bit older than that. Yeah, yeah, around then.
For legal purposes, we were a little bit older than that.
He's trying to read a text right now.
Hang on, guys. I'm losing y'all. I'm
you're
on
good
Wi-Fi,
on our
but
end.
y'all keep pausing.
Oh, you're good on our end. It'll catch up. God damn, Alex, see, do you understand what I dealt with when you were in the Motel 6?
Yeah.
You see what it was like?
I get it.
And our guests would be so confused.
Yeah.
And then it would be me and the guest. And then you would pop back in. And
That's why I never listen to those episodes.
Neither one of us have listened to an episode since we've been recording. I mean, you used to listen to episodes before I came on as a co-host.
That's because they were like a half an hour, and I was trying to get those early views. You know what I mean?
Fucked it all up.
I'll pull that shit on and then put it on like mute and let that mix play, just trying to get those listens in, that listen time. You know what I mean?
4X.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I wonder if that still counts. Anyways,
I'm not going to ask him about his wife anymore because literally it has been golden the whole time until I ask about
I know. I think it's on purpose.
Yeah, I do too.
Hey,
Maybe. Yeah.
Paul, you missed it when you were out. This is the idea. We become millionaires from the lottery.
Sure. I'm down with that.
Right? But we recreate dirty jobs, but it's just me and you doing interesting jobs. They don't even have to be like dirty, just like dumb shit, right? And it's to see how long till we get fucking fired.
Yeah. So kind of like dirty jobs / undercover boss.
Yeah.
But we just go in and fuck it all up until the manager has no idea what's going on. It's like, nah, y'all got to get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. That's the move.
I love it.
That's the move.
I love it. If y'all will go subscribe to our Patreon page, we will start buying lottery tickets, and when we hit the lottery, we'll make this shit happen.
Absolutely, man. I think that's the move. Another $1 million idea. Listen, I spout out $1 million ideas, faster than buckle bags.
My back.
Not a fan. She
The 14-year-old
He didn't want nothing to do with that
does
on.
not want to be on fucking camera. But let Carter come out here and he'd want a microphone and a
as long as you don't have an Android phone, you're good.
I think that's my problem. I've got iPhone.
Oh no.
No,
Anyways.
bitch, shut the fuck up. No, I will kick you out of here and you won't be able to come back on. All right, Justin. All right, so let's talk about the fishing a little bit real quick. By real quick, I mean real quick. But you have mentioned to me numerous times about the double-digit fish that you've caught. Now, and you and I have talked about this too. You're in an area where
it's easy.
Big fish are more accessible. Not easy, as Alex said, because his biggest fish is only like 6.5 pounds.
I've ate fish bigger than that.
I'm in New Jersey, motherfuckers. I don't know what to tell you.
Look, Alex.
I filleted fish out bigger than that.
Alex, speaking of that, I meant to send you this. I thought I did.
Probably did.
I thought I did send you a picture of Justin filleting out filleted out an 8-pounder.
You
Did I not send
Oh
you
wait,
that?
actually, I think you did send me
Yes,
that one. Yeah,
I
yeah,
sent
yeah,
it to
yeah.
you. It's about a month ago.
Yeah.
It was the worst fucking fillet job I've ever seen a Southerner
Hey,
do. Like, look, there's one thing you're gonna hold on, Justin. Hold the fuck on before you tell this story. It's one thing to fillet out an 8-pounder, but when he sent me that picture, I'm like, what? Did you fillet this bitch out with a spoon? Like, it was fucking terrible.
Easy to catch the fish, harder to fillet
I've never seen a Southerner fillet a fish out that badly.
He's used to, filleting out buckle badgers, not fucking big bass.
Yeah.
Justin, tell us about this 8-pounder that you filleted out terribly to eat and why.
Well, now that come out of a private pond. We were cleaning out a pond because there was too many small fish in it.
Right.
I hear a lot of people.
He took the 8-pounder.
Well,
because it's easy.
No, she got gut hooked. So she wasn't. She hit an 8-inch glide bait, took it all the way to the gullet. I ripped her gill slots out, everything. There was no saving that fish.
Hey, Justin, say that slower and a deeper voice, and you got a whole podcast on your own. She ate that. She took it straight, that 15-inch bait, straight down her gullet.
I ripped it. Jeez.
I had to eat her.
Oh, yeah. Butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
Butterfly. But yeah, that hack job there was the Bubba fillet knives, the electric Bubba fillet knives. I got one of those, and I'm like, I'm gonna try this thing out. They ain't worth the money.
Those are for fucking like little crappie, not an 8-pound fucking bass.
Well,
but
you don't know until you try it.
That's true. That's true.
One of your
foos.
social
One of your
media
foos.
posts. Shut up, bitch. I've been drinking, eating sushi. One of your few social media posts. Didn't you post that one on social media?
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah, that's engagement right there. That's
There you go.
that's how you get the views and clicks.
Listen, if you go on any of the Facebook or Instagram posts where bass fishermen are, you want to really, just turn some handles. Post a filleted out fish over 5 pounds and watch what happens. I love it.
That's the only reason why I say the best eating fish are the 8-pounders plus, and you deep fry the eggs and you fillet them out and you eat them.
And that fish right there, if you go back and look, I can send you a screenshot of the timeline of that picture, and it was in March. She was full of roe. I mean, she was.
This man went out there to help cull some small fish, and he took a big 8-pound breeder out of there.
And we took. Oh, that ain't nothing. We took 174 fish out of that pond that day.
There ain't fucking nothing left in that pond but fucking buckle badgers on the bottom sucking fucking worms. That's it.
You can go to that pond. You can go to that pond now, and in probably any given cast, hang a 10 to a 12-pounder.
Because it's
and,
easy. Do you fish a lot of private ponds? Do you fish a lot of private ones? No.
Actually, no, not often. I fished a lot of smaller lakes. I mean, sub 150-acre lakes.
Yeah.
Is the biggest thing, because with that, most of the time they're dirt boat ramps, so you're not having bass boats in there with forward-facing sonar, which most people around here that have it don't fish stuff like that. They spend more time on Eufaula or Seminole. And I mean, it's the pressure. I mean, you don't get near the pressure. The people that go out there chunking worms, I mean, which I do the same thing, but those fish there have never seen 3/4 of the baits that I throw at them. So for them, it's something they've never seen. It's a presentation they've never experienced, and it works.
Did you take the same? Did you take this same kind of attitude with fishing to your buckle bunny busting? Were you just trying to show them a bait that they hadn't seen before? Would you tie that thing up to look like a swirly straw? Maybe put a tie, a bow tie on it.
You got a corn dog. You put a little bow on the end of the flaps.
No, they wasn't too privy to Ned rigs, so I was out of the loop on that one.
What? So we're talking about you throwing big swim baits for fishing, not for the buckle bunnies. Where's Ned rigs?
Listen, you want to catch you a buckle bunny, you can't be throwing no Ned rig. You got to save that shit for the librarians. You need to throw that 15-inch glide on that bitch.
The only buckle bunny going after Ned rigs are the ones at 2:30 in the morning when the bar closes. That
the
are
buckle
still
bag.
left.
She's like, you want to see a magic trick? I'll make that shit disappear in my arm, and it's gone.
I got a corn dog, but it's the size of a little Smoky.
No, we just call that a Magnum, Ned.
Come here, babe. I know you know that I use bait fuel. You can smell that shit.
I got a Magnum, Ned, and a bottle of bait fuel, baby. And we got 4 hours before I got to be back at work tomorrow.
That's when they go from buckle badgers to slick Sally's real quick.
Yeah.
He was P. Diddy-ing before the P. Diddy's.
He used to have bait fuel parties instead of fucking baby lotion.
This baby old.
It's just, come on, rub this on you. I can't.
I got a pallet of bait fuel, baby. Sound like fucking Hank Hill. Hey, baby, you want my dick?
No, the ones you really watch out for is the ones that's got to be back at the rig the same time as you. Them are the buckle badgers.
I thought she just had a little stubble on her face.
No, those were the ones we called the rig rats.
Oh, the ladies that worked at the rig?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they were 50-50. You had some of them that were just, actual good stand-up ladies, and then there were some of them that they did not keep things professional at all. And when I worked out there, well, yeah, I mean, I guess everybody's got to have somebody,
Right.
But
so,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. This is your podcast. Go ahead.
What I was going to say, no, when I was in the oil field, I was pretty, cut dry. I mean, I was about work. I was about making money because at the time I was with my first wife, and I was out there to make money and go home. I mean, that was it, dude. I wanted to be at home. I didn't, after working that many hours, you didn't care about none of that stuff. No. But I mean, some of them did. But I looked at it like this: if I could go and spend 4 hours in a bar, I could spend 4 more hours of work, 3 or 4 nights a week, or 3 or 4 days a week, and that was another $1,000 on your paycheck.
Man, you sound not fun during those times. You sound not fun. I mean, you sound responsible.
All his buddies quit asking him to go out and have a good time. It's like,
Justin,
don't even fucking ask Justin. That bitch is,
they're like, you want to come out and get a beer? And he's like, we could work some more. And they're like, fuck it. Keep working, Justin. We're out.
Yeah, honestly, that's what it was like. I mean, I was nose to the grindstone, but I mean, like I said, when I left home, I left my mother, my father, my whole family, and moved out there. I went out there with my uncle, and there was nothing else to do but work. At that time, Odessa and Midland, Texas this is what it was. It was oil boom town, and it was oil field or get in trouble. So instead of going out and getting in trouble and stuff like that, and having a Class A CDL, I wasn't gonna take the chance on losing that license. I mean, I tried to be.
Back then too, getting that Class A, you weren't going to no classes and shit. You probably had to do it on your own, and it was some work to get it. Hey, was your uncle Jim Bob? What's your uncle
Rico
from Central Florida?
Rodney. Nah, Rodney.
Close.
Rodney.
Now listen.
What was his nickname though? Because ain't nobody
That's-
called that motherfucker Rodney. I guarantee it.
Actually, they called him Rodney.
Okay.
There's a big story with him now.
Tell it. We want to hear it.
Okay, my uncle back in the day, my uncle was married to a Hispanic woman, and he actually back in the 70s and 80s was running marijuana across from Acuna, Mexico, and Okinaga, Mexico, dude. They were like cutting down like Suburbans and stuff, and just like stuffing marijuana into these things and running them across. I mean, like basically the whole landman story. So, like I said, but that was back in the, the 70s.
Hold on. This man said he didn't want to get in trouble, but he went out to Texas with a drug smuggler. Uncle Rodney was like, this dude's a bitch. Let's go out and party. Like, this guy's going to sit at home. He's just going to work all fucking day.
Yeah.
Rodney's out there cutting down Suburbans, hanging out with fucking buckle buddies.
No, actually, at that time he was calmed down. He was older, had his kids, so
got neutered. Yep, that'll do.
Yeah,
that.
pretty much, pretty much.
Kids will fuck up everybody's good time.
Well, and he was in his late 50s too, so I mean, his younger days were done. And he was like me, working 80, 100 hours a week, making money. And that's what it was. I mean, you didn't go out there to play. You went out there to work.
Go back. I asked you about Rodney. That wasn't his name. You said they called him Rodney, but then you said he was married to a Hispanic woman.
Mm-hmm.
That story was going somewhere. Tell us, because I'm really excited to hear where this is going.
Well, that was my Aunt Emma. And that's about all the story there was, but I know.
Oh no, bitch! I said he had a nickname and it wasn't Rodney. He's like, no, they called him Rodney.
Yeah.
You're like, he was married to a Hispanic woman.
Yeah.
And now you're saying that her name was Emma, and that's the end of the story.
No.
Well, no. The story was that he was smuggling drugs over, Paul.
He was. What's the movie that Captain Jack Sparrow was in that got fucking
Mission
shot
Impossible.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Mission Impossible with Jack Sparrow.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, Blow.
No, it wasn't Blow. It's the other movie.
Yeah, it was
where
Blow.
the guy got.
It's Blow where he. Yes, it was. It's where he started. He's where he first started. He was smuggling
that was about
marijuana and
Uncle
airplane.
Rodney. That was about Uncle Rodney.
Yeah, pretty much, except Pablo Escobar.
Anyway, Uncle Rodney, that's a good time. Uncle Rodney did you good. So, how did you meet your current wife?
Man, that goes back a long time. Just
Back when you were 12.
knowing her. Yeah, 15, 16. But yeah, we met when I was younger. She grew up being a friend. I left, grew up, come home. I'm grown. That's the story, man. I mean, it wasn't.
She came in.
Nothing
She's
special.
like, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. You've grown up so well."
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Hey, Sarah, your brother is hot.
Pretty much. I mean, that was
All
it.
right, so we're going to transition. All right, so we're talking about your current wife. We're going to transition into something just as exciting. Big baits.
Oh, now we're speaking my language.
We can tell you chose 2 10-pound bass to motorboat instead of a wet booty. So we're talking about big baits. And Alex says it's easy. You said earlier that you're throwing shit that people don't see in Florida, which is interesting to me because when we hear about big baits, obviously California is the mecca of that. I think that's where the big bait stuff kind of started and then came this way. But I'm it's interesting to me that you say that you're throwing big baits, and that wasn't what a lot of people were doing in Florida, because Florida was the first place where huge bass in Georgia, Georgia was the first place, the 60s, the 70s, where these fucking huge bass were coming out of. And you're saying that you're throwing shit that people haven't seen down there. I mean, we've had numerous professional anglers come from Florida, and you're saying that nobody's down there throwing big ass baits?
There's some, but they keep it very hush hush on the low. And like I said, it's not, big baits down here are not very congruent to the conditions. I mean, let's be honest. When you're in Florida, you're talking heavy cover. Treble hooks and heavy cover they don't mix. But at the area in Florida that I'm in,
kind of like buckle bunnies and poor people.
Exactly. But I've thrown big baits. For me, it first started off with like, a 316 Rising Sun, old school triple trout, stuff like that when I was younger. And they produced. I mean, they did. Or, I mean, it's just like throwing a old monster worm or something like that. I mean, the bigger the bait, the bigger the fish. I don't care what anybody says. Now, you do catch small fish. I mean, I've had pound and a half fish hit a 9-inch glide bait and wreck it. But for me, where it really started was the live bait side, with catching bass and stuff on big bluegill, big golden shiners, stuff like that. I always wanted to be able to do it on the artificial side. So when I found out about glide baits, I started kind of dabbling, getting into it. And I come across it was an original Rago rat. And that was my first ever, I guess you would say, big bait top order, was a Jerry Rago rat. And I threw that.
Like a wake bait?
Yeah, it's a wake bait. Jerry Rago is actually if I want to say, one of the first people that actually created the glide bait here in the United States, single joint glide bait. And now you're talking about early 2000s, like 2001, 2002. I don't know the exact timeline, but eventually you go into.
I was going to say it's about the year that your current wife started courting you.
Mm-hmm.
When you were 10.
Yeah, somewhat.
Okay. All right, continue. Just trying to, using my law degree to put the timeline together.
But for me,
she's gonna hear this and be like, "What the fuck, motherfucker?"
Yeah, she's not gonna hear it now.
Pretty much.
He's gonna be like, "Oh, they canceled it. Don't know what to tell you."
No, I mean, like I said, my first big bait was a Rago rat. Then I got some of the 22nd century triple trout, some of the Rising Suns, the old Castaic baits. I mean, and eventually, they come out, like Bass Pro had the original XPS swimmers, just things like that. And then it came into, your garage built baits of today. And I mean, I was one of some of the first people to actually have some of the original Buka baits a couple years ago, and they've produced. And I mean, that's what it is. I mean, now there's more options than you can shake a stick at.
Hey, Justin doesn't want to let it out. I talked to him prior. I will let it out for you guys, the listeners. Here's how you catch fish in Florida. You got two options. One, you either just put your finger in the water and then a 14-pounder bites it and you pull it in. Or two, you got to throw the fish something they've never seen before. So what you do is you hook your pay stub and a high school diploma or GED to a hook and cast that bitch out there into the water. And they don't know what the fuck that is. They're going to bite it. They're going to be interested. So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give up your secrets there, Justin, but, the listeners had to know.
Well, I will say this. Bass are not as smart as what people give them credit for.
No,
they're really
but they're
not.
also, hold on. But they're also
They're not
as
dumb.
stupid. They're
Right.
not as
No,
stupid.
they're not
as
dumb.
Fair.
Justin, you and I talked about this. People humanize bass way too much.
Okay.
They think about the watercolor, the clarity, all this shit with bass, and they relate the bass to what we think it is. Bitch, we don't live in the water. Like, they can see and feel stuff way more than we think. And you and I were talking about this because
Yes.
I don't want to be a swim bait, glide bait guy, but there are times where, in a tournament, because that's mostly what I do in a tournament, we got 5 fish for 12 pounds, 15 pounds. Why the fuck are we still throwing the same shit that we're catching fish in that same class? That's what we were talking about.
Exactly. I mean,
So,
exactly.
Yeah. And so how do we take that? And so my whole thing is with anglers, it's a confidence thing. I'm not going to throw something I'm not confident in, where to throw it, when to throw it. And Justin's really kind of started to help me think about when to throw the paddle tail, when to throw the glide bait, when to throw a 9-incher versus a 6-incher and this and that. And when you think about fish, we humanize fish way too much. And Justin's out there, this is what he does. He doesn't throw a lot of conventional stuff. He's throwing big fish baits, albeit in a private pond or a public small lake or wherever
Or
he's
just
going.
in Florida where it's easy.
Exactly. Where's easy. But, he might go out there and he's fishing and he might catch 2 or 3 fish, but one of them's a fucking 10, 12 pounder.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the thing. And he's in the back of stuff. He's told me stories about him going out fishing with guys and they're catching a ton of fish and he catches 2 fish, but one of them's a 10 pounder. And I start to think about this as somebody who tournaments fish. You have your 5. So, all right, I'm good. I have my 5.
Yeah.
Like
Upgrade.
that's one of the things, exactly, the upgrade. That's one of the things that I've been talking to Justin about is when to throw these big glide baits, when to throw the paddle tails. Like, that's one of the things that interests me the most. And we haven't really had people here that are strictly big bait anglers. And Justin is. That's what he does. He takes 2 rods out and the motherfucker has 2 9-inch glide baits on there, to make stuff simple. But that's one of the things that interests me. And Justin, I also talked about somebody like, Ben Milliken, how he doesn't throw that stuff in these tournaments, and that's where he was before. So how do you break down when and where to throw a glide bait versus like a paddle tail, a big one, a 6 to 10 inch bait?
For me, it's all based on relativity of the forage. If they're feeding on threadfin, I mean, they're gonna hit, spinner baits, crank baits, things like that. But like I told you before, you take a spinner bait. Okay, a spinner bait's windy days, pushing bank, stuff like that, find the bait fish. You take a spinner bait and a mag draft, 6-inch mag draft, same thing. It rolls 2 foot underneath the water, 2.5 foot underneath the water, and you cast it and you retrieve it. It's the same exact thing. I mean, it's the same presentation. The only difference is instead of having a spinner bait, you've got a 6-inch paddle tail. And a swim jig. You take a swim jig. Most people throw swim jigs up in the gnarliest cover they can find and swim it out. It's the same thing if you use a swim bait with a beast hook. Throw it in there, reel it out. It's not hard. The biggest thing I tell people when it comes to big baits is knowing how to relate just old school fishing, conventional fishing to big baits. When you learn to relate conventional fishing to big baits, it's like a switch gets turned on. And as soon as you figure that out, you're there. I mean, you say dragging a Carolina rig. You're out dragging a Carolina rig on shell bars. Here in Florida, we have a lot of shell bars. Or, you're dragging a Carolina rig out on the bottom or over points, things like that. Throw a Huddleston. put a six a HUD 68 or a 12 or 10-inch HUD or something like that. Throw it out there, let it hit the bottom, and slow roll it. It's the same thing as dragging a Carolina rig. A jerk bait, like a suspended jerk bait. You want to do something like that? You can use like a DRT Clash 9. Crank it down, dead walk it. Top waters. You're throwing a buzz bait, you're throwing a frog, something like that. Now, a frog's a little bit different because you're going to be in heavy cover with that. But a buzz bait, a walking bait, something that you're open water or running grass lines with, throw a rat, throw a wake bait, throw something that's, a surface bait. I mean, it's just when you learn to relate the big bait to the type of fishing you're doing, it all turns back into conventional. Now, as far as the selection of the bait, I always look at what are the bass feeding on. I start off with usually a 7-inch glide. For me, a 7-inch is a perfect all-around size. If they're on gizzard shad that are 5 inches long, they'll hit a 7-inch bait. If they're on, threadfin and stuff or bigger gizzards, that the bigger gizzards are running 10, 12 inches, throw a giant glide, something like a TSG 9 or a KGB King or just any real big wide glide bait that's going to look like a gizzard. But it's mainly just learning to differentiate between what bait you need to throw. But like I said, if you're Alex, you're a swim jig guy. If you're a swim jig guy, man, you can put on a 6-inch paddle tail swim bait and fish it in all the same areas and all the same grass, river system, stuff like that. You can fish it in the grass, rip it through, stuff like that, and it's all the same thing, same presentation. I mean, honestly, take a swim jig with a trailer and hold it up to a 6-inch paddle tail.
Yeah,
what's the difference?
You're right.
And you're saying that that bigger profile bait is going to, if you're looking for that bigger bite, that bigger profile is going to, in obviously a paddle tail or a glide bait's going to be a slower presentation too. But your mindset is okay. But your mindset is that that's going to get you potentially that bigger fish, that 6, 7, 8 pounder, 10 pounder might pass up a spinner bait that's going by or the swim jig, but then that glide bait or that paddle tail might entice them more to bite versus the conventional, quote unquote, conventional lure might. That's your mindset, right?
Exactly. And it goes back to fishing pressure. If you take fishing pressure, look at, for my example, every lake around here, the fish have seen every lure that Academy, Walmart, Dick's, they've seen every single lure that's on the shelf. I mean, and probably been caught by it. But when you throw a 7-inch battle shad or a 9-inch battle shad, something like that, or a Citizen or, any type of big soft plastic out there, they haven't seen that. So, I mean, what do you say? Are you more likely to eat a hamburger that's made you sick 5 times, or are you more likely to say, "Oh, there's a steak that looks good," and try the steak?
I don't know. I ain't never had a bucko bunny, so I'd choose a bucko bunny over, a lot lizard.
Well, no, he's talking about throwing buckle badgers, not a buckle bunny.
Yeah, buckle badgers. Yeah, we're not.
Yeah. He's talking about big baits.
That's the swim jig. Yeah. Well, the biggest, to be honest with you, the biggest thing, a lot of the people I talk to about big baits, the biggest thing that, I guess you would say discourages them is just honestly the overall size of the bait. But in my area, I look at 3 things. Our forage, our main forage around here is one of 4 things. It's either going to be golden shiners, bluegill, gizzard, or threadfin. So on this, or meth. That's true, especially in Southeast Alabama.
That's that spinner
but-
bait with the knockers on it. You just put meth rocks in the spinner.
That's that meth monkey spinner bait.
That's patent pending, Bass and Bruce. Meth monkey.
That's it. Comes with a Mountain Dew bottle to work it off with.
That'll be releasing with the long smalley.
Paige was all about the long smalley a couple months ago, and we hadn't heard shit from since. Anyway, all right.
Listen, look, that long smalley, I was seriously gonna go and buy something that I probably shouldn't and get some weird looks, just to put some treble hooks on it and send it to y'all.
A big
I
old
would've
veiny,
fished
big old veiny bastard.
I would have fished it.
I'm telling you, make a hell of a wake bait.
Hell yeah, man. You get a nice color to
Alex.
it. Like you can get a real dark one if you really want the
Alex, is it, if
profile.
if there's anybody that throw a long smalley and catch a double digit to promote our bait, it's gonna be Justin.
Exactly. Well, listen, he can do that, but I'll follow up with the meth monkey and just wrap up a bunch of the smaller ones. They're a little skittish, but you can get them.
It'd take you back to like King of the Hill when they were out there using the magic bait.
Exactly. All right,
Bob,
Justin, we've had some good times.
I have questions.
Okay, go for it.
No, fuck you, bitch. You interrupted me. I'm done.
All right, great. We're gonna hit the most highly controversial
Justin.
portion
Justin.
of the show.
Yes.
And before we get to that, I want to give you
There
a
we
chance
go,
to
guys.
shout
There we
out
go.
anybody or any shout outs you like to give. Paul's throwing me off.
You threw me off, bitch. I threw you off. You
Hey,
threw
the
me off.
only-
We threw each other.
The only shout out I can give is honestly to my sponsor, my wife, that allows me to fish as much as what I do.
Hell
She
yeah.
controls the money. She controls the money and she controls the time. So
Perfect.
I'm lucky
I mean,
enough
that's the perfect way to do it, right?
Hey, but you every time I
Hey.
talk to you, you're fishing or going fishing. So you found you found one.
there's a trick to that. Aggravate
Finding a
them enough
cougar.
until they tell you to
Find a cougar.
well, yeah, that. Find a cougar and then aggravate her ass enough until she tells you to go to hell on somewhere and leave her
Dude,
alone, and then you just go
Paul's
fishing.
tried that. Paul's tried that. He still ain't getting let out of the house. He just gets more chores.
No, but Sarah, I'm the cougar to Sarah. I'm older than her by a year.
No, yeah, but a cougar
Yeah.
means that they're like rich and older.
No, it just means they're older.
No. All right, here it
You-
comes.
You don't know, bitch.
It's time.
Boys and girls, let's see how far down
Don't
the rabbit
mute
hole
me,
we can go
bitch.
today.
Alex is short.
It only takes one.
All right, Justin, you're still muted.
Time out. He's not muted.
Okay.
Justin.
Yes.
Ask before we get started on the
Yep.
shotgun round. This is the most important question of the whole show. God dang, my tongue got tied up. Sorry, it's a sushi. Justin, what was the joke that you told me about Alex? You got to tell it. We got to do it right now.
Oh, what is it?
Alex,
Oh,
Alex, you have to answer this question. This is
Okay.
a shotgun round from a guest to Alex.
All right.
Yeah. Now, if you had to fornicate with the Bigfoot,
Yes.
do you think it would turn out looking like an Ewok?
Let's make that a meme. Intern Dave, make that a meme. Oh my God, that would be perfect. That's probably where they came from. Holy shit.
Alex has sex with the showing the picture with the Bigfoot. Would it turn out like? But you, hey, Wolf of Walmart, put a Mandy's face on the Ewok. Put a Mandy's face on the Bigfoot.
Yep.
And then put
A little
and
Ewok.
then put the baby with Alex's face on an Ewok
Oh, that'd be so perfect.
and make the family together. He sent me that, and I was like, "Oh my god! If Alex fucked a Bigfoot, would the baby come out looking like an Ewok?"
All right, Justin. We're gonna ask you. This is the shotgun round. We're gonna ask you a set of rapid fire set of questions. They're gonna take you to the highest highs to become a serious angler, or the lowest lows to the dark waters. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
You gonna spend more on a rod or a reel?
Do not go into the bullshit that you were talking about either. You have to choose one, motherfucker, and
A reel.
Don't.
There we
Thank
go.
you.
A real
Crocs or flops?
Crocs.
Okay.
My man. I know it. He's a kayak angler.
Yeah.
Fishes out of a kayak.
You're fishing for. I always fuck up the time frame. 6
You're
hours.
fishing for 5 hours. You want to catch 1 7-pounder or 5 2-pounders?
5 2-pounders.
What?
What?
You just fucked up this whole podcast, bitch.
This man.
No.
This man was giving shit about everything being bait, and then he's like, "I want to catch nothing but bait."
No. 5 2-pounders. That's more to eat.
All right. Yeah, but you only book your 8-pounders, and you only fillet those awfully.
Yeah. I'm better at filleting the 2-pounders.
On your way to the water, is it hype music or is it slow jams?
Honestly, it's slow jams.
And what does that mean to you?
There's a band called Jill's Cashbox. It's called Fishing's in Our Soul. Look it up.
Okay. Okay.
Fuck. No. Hold on. I'm out. I'm the fuck out.
What is
This
it called?
look.
Jill's Cash Box?
Yep. Fishing's in Our Soul.
All
Okay.
right, Alex,
I
look
mean-
that up, and we need to play some of this because this is the first time ever. I'm not a music guy. Alex is a huge music guy.
I am.
This is the first time ever that Alex has ever been like, "What the fuck did you just say?" So we got to hear. We got
Yeah.
15 seconds, Alex. You can play 15 seconds of it. Look it up and play 15
I
seconds.
got it
of
already. I got it.
What the fuck does this sound like? Because I have no idea. Either.
This is I just heard the opening. This is some real twangy modern country. Can you hear when we got this to work last time, didn't we? Let's see here.
You have to share screen. There you go. We should be able to hear it now.
All right, hold on.
15 seconds.
Okay. Oh shit, I gotta go back over here. Here we go.
No, just hit play.
All right, we're gonna stop right there. I'm gonna speed to where they're singing.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
I was 8 years old, out on the dock with my own.
Oh, okay, that's fucking all I can do with that.
Fucking terrible. That was fucking
terrible.
terrible.
No,
Boom.
man, no.
Hey, listen,
I'm
everybody's
Southern,
got
man.
their own taste.
It's about
Everybody's got their own taste. I
This
would
man
rather.
at the
I would
same-
rather. I
Oh
would
my
rather.
God.
I would rather give Paul a sponge bath than have to listen to all of that song. But if you like it, that's all that fucking matters.
It's your question.
Hey,
It's your
I'm-
show. We respect your decision to be an asshole.
Hey, dude, fishing for me is peace. I mean,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
when I get on the water, that's the reason why I don't do YouTube. I don't do TikTok. I don't do none of that stuff. It's because for me, fishing's my escape, man.
Yeah.
When
The
I
only
get
thing I
on the
want to
water,
escape
bills
from
don't
is
ma-
that fucking song. That's the only thing I want to escape
Have you
from.
ever told your wife that, hey, baby, I love you, but fishing is my peace? Like, you aggravate me so fucking much that I have to go
She
fishing.
probably no, but I've had my wife say that. I've literally had my wife say, "Look, you need to go and get on the water because you're. I mean, you can tell if I don't fish for at least 2 or 3 days,
All right.
I'm not right. I'm not good. I mean, I can't do it.
Maybe it's because you listen to fucking
I mean,
music
fishing-
like that when you fish. Maybe that's what the problem is.
No.
Is that it's gotten into your
No,
brain.
No, when I'm on the water, we're talking about some like anything from Tech Nine to Pantera to
Okay.
White Snake to Kevin
But
Gates
on the way to the water, we're listening to some Jim Bob.
Jill's
Play the
Cashbox.
acoustic
Shout out to
gui-
Jill's Cashbox.
Yeah, we've never heard that. That's you know what? We've been doing this for 4 years.
I wonder if we can
Alex.
get Jill's Cashbox on there, and hopefully
Hey,
that
can
they
we
don't
do
listen
it?
to this episode.
Justin
where we
knows a
said
lot
they
of people.
suck.
Can we get Jill's Cashbox on here? They have to fish. They were just on a fucking dock out in probably Tennessee or Alabama.
What happens if they're from what happens if they're from Montana and it's all just to get
No.
money?
No, they're actually from South Florida. They're from like the Clewiston area. They're real big. They're real big in the saltwater side.
Okay,
Oh, we love saltwater anglers.
we do, but we don't
Yeah, they're
love the music.
We can have them on and
they,
chastise them.
Huh?
Chastise them about their
probably.
Let's do it.
Man.
Justin, you're in charge of getting them on.
We'll get you
I'll
a
try.
free
will
copy.
pay,
try.
we will pay you nothing, but we will give you all
Nope.
the hugs.
Listen, Justin, if you can get them on the show, we will have them on. I will give up my spot that night, and you can take over the hosting duties, and you can be the host for the show.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you a little secret about that. I've got some contacts in the industry now that I could probably make that happen.
Do they all sound like Jill's Cashbox? Because I don't need those contacts. Hey, again, shout out to Jill's Cashbox. We're giving you a hard time. Your music is not for me. Justin loves you, though. Everybody's
But
got different
we
tastes.
only listen to literally 3 seconds of one song. Too,
That's all I
because
could
we
stomach.
might- yeah.
That's all I could stomach.
Hey, Justin. Hey, Justin. And
Mhm.
fuck you, Drunkwood, for me saying, hey, Lance. Go fuck yourself.
Hey, Lance.
Nobody likes you. The only reason people are nice to you is because you make really good trophies.
Not you,
And-
Justin. We're talking about
and
Drunkwood.
because- Yeah, Drunkwood. And they don't want you to make fun of them because you're one of the greatest fishing trolls on the universe.
He is a troll.
You're better than Randy Blockett because Randy Blockett's a biatch.
Get
But
off
anyway,
my lake with your forward face.
Don't bass fishermen are eating too many bass. Fuck you, bitch. We ain't eating enough. Hey, Justin.
Exactly.
Pineapple on pizza. Yes or no?
Hell no.
Thank God you upheld your
Paul.
Central Florida roots.
Paul, just remember Jill's Cashbox. Anytime you start liking what he says, just remember Jill's Cashbox.
I don't
You know
even
what
do.
else?
I don't even do pineapple on ham.
What?
See,
I don't even do pineapple on
takes-
ham, man.
He takes one step forward and 2 steps back.
What the fuck is he talking about, Alex?
Like when you make a ham.
I don't even do pineapple on ham. What the fuck are you talking about?
like when you make a ham, you pin pineapple to the ham, right? Or
Pineapple
you baste
to it. Yeah.
Bitch, we ain't.
Yeah. I don't do. I don't.
You don't like pineapple. You don't like fruits. No fruits, no
We're
veggies.
not in Hawaii. Who pins pineapple on
I do.
ham?
I do. It's good.
Everybody.
Of course you fucking would. You fucking. Never mind. I can't say that word on here.
It's a northern thing.
Yeah.
But bitch, you from Central Florida.
And
Yeah, they don't know what they are.
Where's your wife from?
What-
Does she pin pineapple on ham?
sometimes, yeah.
And she's from
I don't eat
Alabama?
it.
Is she
I
from
don't eat it.
Alabama? Does
No.
she take the pineapple rings and line them up on your pecker and then eat them all too?
Yeah, but we can only fit 2 on there.
She's like, let me get the big kahuna ready for the luau.
So you do like pineapple when it's on your little smoky.
Yeah, you call that sweet and savory.
Do you eat beaver?
Of course.
Have you ever eaten beef?
All right. Well, he listens
How'd
to the
you
show.
prepare
So
it?
he's like, yeah, how do you prepare it?
Butterfly sauteed and stuffed.
That seems like a lot of work. All right.
Yeah, that is a lot of work.
Hey, but when you grill it, you got to have it right.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to take all the grease out the meat.
Yeah. Yeah, then those
Beaver's
buckle
greasy.
badgers.
Well,
Buckle
you
badgers
don't-
got a lot of
hold
grease.
up now. Don't nobody like no dry beaver.
I
do, sir. I love a dry beaver.
If you make dry beaver, you're not doing it right, and somebody's missing out in the end. I mean, that's a fucking fact. And there's enough fat and collagen in beaver.
Yeah,
it should never be dry.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's all in the tail.
But you can't cook it till it's dry.
I guess he does. He's just in there until it's dry.
Sometimes you got to. I mean, beaver jerky.
You're doing it wrong if your beaver's dry.
All right.
Yeah,
the most important...
we're grilling it. We're not barbecuing it.
Exactly. All right. The most important
it's
question.
One of these things, though, that you have to take your time, and you have to prep it right, and you have to eat. Dry beaver is the worst.
No, you got to take it out to dinner.
For anybody.
Okay.
I'm appalled by this, fucking Justin. I'm not talking to you for 4, 5, 6 hours ever again while I'm riding down the road and you're
Paul's never had a
delivering
dry
food.
beaver during
hey,
that.
real quick, just a side
real
note.
quick,
This
real
is
quick,
real quick. Justin,
hey, Lance, real quick.
You deliver a lot of food to a lot of restaurants. Just overall, just in general, what's the one restaurant you will not eat out?
90% of the ones I walk in.
Bitch, that's not the question. What type of food, what type of restaurant will you not eat at?
Chinese.
Okay. Fair.
Fuck you. I'm eating all that shit. I'm eating all the Chinese.
I know a lot about shipping of food too, and I make sure I don't eat at any place when I go in and I hear Jill's cash box. I instantly will walk out of that place.
All right, Alex, go ahead.
The most important question: every great angler loves a good sandwich. What are your top 3 sandwich proteins?
Oh man, one
Dry
is going to
beaver.
be turkey. 2,
Perfect.
Yeah, dry beaver. No, potted meat. I love me a good potted meat sandwich.
Yes.
And
yes.
and I'm going to honestly have to say a fried Spam sandwich.
Okay,
I mean, there's nothing
Yeah.
like a fried Spam. Fried Spam with toast. It's got to be on toast with cheese and mustard.
Hell yeah!
What kind of cheese? American or cheddar?
Pepper jack.
Perfect.
Bitch, no. It's
No,
gotta
a
be
little
American
spice to
beef.
it.
No, bitch,
I mean,
you
American's
gotta
the
have
best
that
'cause
thing.
it gets
Got to have a little
gooey.
spice to it.
Hey, is your Spam slice thick and crispy or thin and crispy?
Thick and crispy.
Thick.
I mean,
Perfect.
it's got, and if it ain't burnt a little bit, it ain't good.
Eggs has got to
Yep,
be a little
I
burnt.
agree.
Eggs has got to
Yep.
be a little burnt. All right, Justin. Well,
Yep.
you made it through. It was awesome. Again, shout out to Jill's Cash Box. He's the new sponsor of this show. If you guys want to get into the book club again, head over to the Discord. Anyways, we'll see you guys. Have the week you deserve, you fucking degenerates.